talking to you from Bali right now. I put a background on. It's palm trees behind me in the vision, but it's actually right as I look. It just looks identical to what you see. Um, and we are here by the ocean, and we have dolphins not too far from here. People come here to go see the dolphins. Um, Today I'm going to talk to you about, and it was introduced, and I was asked to talk about dolphins and the power of healing that dolphins have. And I will tie it in for you because Patriji, also that's the one of the things that he introduced in one of the first magazines that there was an interview about, was my book, Wisdom of the Dolphins. And I love how Patriji says, be a master. It's not seek another master out so that you can, glean information and adore them, but assume your own mastership. And really what Patriji is doing is teaching all of us to assume the quantum truth that, and all religions really have said that, is knock on the door of the universe, pray, express your needs, desires, and wishes, and your answers will be given. Now, in Buddhism, and a lot of meditators in the Pyramid Spiritual Society have Buddha as an icon of the meditating master, of becoming the Buddha. Probably already know how in Buddhism, they don't idealize. Hopefully, the idea was to take people away from idealizing someone else or a deity, but instead assuming the quality of the deity yourself. So if we think of Kuan Yin, a compassionate embodiment of beauty, wisdom, and such, or Lakshmi, or Saraswati, in the Buddhist idea, and that which goes along with what Patriji is saying, is be the Buddha, be Lakshmi, be Kuan Yin. And today I'm going to ask you to be the dolphin yourself and utilize one of the techniques that in Buddhism has been taught, which is, it's actually 2 steps. I'm going to guide us through a meditation where we learn, the Akashic record. Yeah, you've heard of, and it's like, well, how do I read the Akashic record, right? You become the very thing that you want to have knowledge about. You become the very thing that you want to gain knowledge about. So I'm going to guide us into becoming or looking through the eyes of a dolphin. And I will ask you then to discover for yourself what you see from that perspective. And it goes along with that. Become the Lakshmi, become Saraswati, become Kuan Yin, or become the Buddha, be the quality of whatever it is that you want to maybe ask a favor of. Whereas instead of praying and begging, we need to learn that whatever we occupy within ourselves is what we become. Our consciousness and our focus turns the lens onto the very thing and then becomes that which we wish to know about. The knower and the known become one in the knowing. So today I'm going to take you on a journey that occupies 2 principles that you can find in quantum physics as well as in Buddhism. One is to become the object of the known. So you become the knowing, the informational field, the understanding, and the wisdom, and you embody that quality. And number 2, equally important in one of the scriptures in Tantric Buddhism, which is written in some sacred texts, the fastest way to enlightenment is to merge 2 into 1. Merging 2 into 1 eliminates separation, but creates overlapping unity, and the unity becomes the singular I with which we then become the entire universe. It's in the moment that you manage to merge your consciousness with another and enter the space that transcends duality, that you enter singularity and enter the dimension increasingly of all that is. So, although I'm going to take you on a journey to experience the ocean as you see behind me, dolphins, um, I take you on a journey to encounter a dolphin. Invite you to imagine a dolphin, which is, and I'll give you a little bit of scientific background as to why dolphins are amazing creatures. The Greeks used to call them the angels of the sea, the angels of the oceans. The angels because they have a higher capacity than what we would assume they have, thinking of them only as an animal. Once I've explained that to you, I take you on that journey to go meet a dolphin, to merge with the dolphin, and then to look through the dolphin's eye back at yourself so that you can see the difference of what it feels like when you shift your perspective from internal to another to see back at yourself. Yeah? So, this is what we're going to talk about today. This is the journey I take you. It's experiential. You get to close your eyes, you get to go into meditation. But to tell you a little bit as to why we even pick a dolphin, I will give you a little bit of background knowledge on some of their abilities. Now, dolphins' brains also have a neocortex, the gray matter on the outside of the brain, which our current modern scientists associate with abstract thinking, and the neocortex, the newest part of the brain, even the frontal part of the brain is the abstract thinking ability, is larger. And the gray matter is what we consider the thinking brain. See, the brain stem is the primal, primitive brain, which all of us creatures that are alive, including salamanders, we have in common. It's where we fight and flight from. It's where we have wars from. It's where we say it's me first and second somebody else. It's when we contract back to that old way that we are getting angry, upset, and fight, or we leave the scene and flee. When we're there, and that happens sometimes to all of us, and we get into a situation where we get afraid or we get upset, we need to realize that the old brain is active. The next level of the brain, it's a multi-brain function, is the mammalian brain. All of us are mammals. All of us are breastfed, including the dolphins. Dolphins are mammals. They're born live underwater after being carried for, depending on the species, approximately 1 year. The babies then suck the milk from the mom and are suckled for a couple of years. They stay right with the mom and with the aunties, and they have a kindergarten, and they have aunties teaching the little ones. The moms sometimes get to take a little bit of a rest, and they develop communication skills. They each have a whistle name, a signature sound, so that dolphins know each other by name, and they develop emotional bonds. Now, that's a mammalian function. It's a bonding thing. It takes nurturing to raise the little one up. And when we, in a minute, go into the mind of a dolphin, we will become the subject and the object, and we spin around. We can equally switch. I can become a dolphin can jump into me. We can take turns. We are a very flexible universe, but we can then go into unity. And as we unify, we enter and transcend that which creates duality and enter unity, which is another aspect that's which I said Tantric Buddhism says is the shortest way to enlightenment is to bring two into one. Now, dolphins whose brain mass is about 1,600 grams. I'm talking about the dolphin that maybe you know. We had a dolphin show when I was young. It was called Flipper, and it was about this very intelligent dolphin. The dolphin was trained by Rick O'Barry, a man that I communicate with, and he came to our dolphin research boat, which Dawn and I had for 10 years in Florida, and visited with us on our boat. He trained the dolphin, but it was actually 5 dolphins in captivity. What he learned from it was that they are so intelligent that he dedicated the rest of his life to seek liberation of captive dolphins, not using dolphins for the amusement, but to honor and respect them. And because of some of his work, and because by God's grace, India was so smart as to declare dolphins having equal to human rights and no longer is permitting swimming tanks. Now, I don't know if that is outdating and closing all of them. This was about 2 years ago. This was great worldwide news that India was so wise as to give dolphins that rank equal to human rights. Now, I was friends with Dr. John Lilly. He was kind enough to give me also a quote for my book, Wisdom of the Dolphins. He measured their intelligence and gave them exercises. When Shauru introduced me, she said they gave me telepathic messages. I want to tell you just a little brief example. I befriended the co-researcher of Dr. John Lilly, who was a neuroscientist, and he measured brain activity. And because of him, we know how many layers of gray matter they have. They actually, when you stretch out the gray matter in a square meter, just stretch it out over an area there, the dolphins gray matter. And I'm talking about the Tertia dolphins, the ones that look like Flipper, who have that long round snout, the one that we normally think of as being the dolphin, um, has more gray matter than humans. Their brain, as I said, is 1,600 grams. Did you know that humans only have 1,200 grams of brain? That's in my book, that's a third more. That's 30% more brain mass. That is, and people say, well, they use more acoustics. Well, they can actually send a picture that looks like a video to each other. Some of the research that was done, and I befriended Roberta Goodman, who was working with Dr. John Lilly, and she did telepathic experiments with dolphins. She taught them to come up with their own training materials. And so what dolphins have shown her I narrated it in my book, so you may want to read my book. You can get my book for free as a PDF on my website, ilonaselke.online, as well as livingfromvision.com. You can download it as for a PDF. I know it's also been in print in India, so you can also get it in India. But the essence of the research is that dolphins can mimic human language. They can even say things that are meaningful, but humans cannot mimic dolphin language, which is why I want to invite you today to enter a dolphin's mind. Because if we're looking for masters, certainly dolphins will qualify. They are very telepathic. They Dr. Frank Robson wrote a book, In the Dolphin's Mind, trained dolphins in dolphinariums until he also dedicated his life to release dolphins from captivity. And what he found out is that, and this will be interesting for all of you who are parents, the dolphin trainer that thought that a dolphin is dumb and it's just an animal, the dolphin would behave just like that. You said what? Jump? I don't know. Did I get that? Maybe. They starved the dolphins to make them jump because they said, if you don't do what I want you to do, you won't get a fish. Which is, a lot of dolphin research centers have done that, different places, to make the dolphins cooperate. Because dolphins are very independent. But then, like one experiment, Roberta one I will share you was doing is she separated the dolphins into two tanks and taught one dolphin a trick in one tank. Then she tried to do the same trick in the other tank, and the dolphin in the other tank knew the answer without being trained because the other one told him, hey, if you do this, you get a fish, you know? Frank Robson then also worked with very highly intelligent people who projected their thoughts. What he did is he set pictures in the dolphin's mind. Instead of training with a fish, he just gave them love. Remember, parents? So what he envisioned is the end result of what he wanted them to do. I'm going to give you this is a quantum technique of creating reality. You envision the end result of what you want to experience. If you want to have the knowledge of something, be the knowledge. If you want the enlightenment, move into that state. If you want to become a new aspect of yourself, move into that every day for 5 minutes, whether it's better health, better finances, or more enlightenment, whatever it is. Move into the space of what you wish to become. And Frank Robson did that in his book. He describes how he just visualized a red ball above the water and said, jump and touch the red ball to the dolphin in their minds. And instead of giving them fish as a reward, he gave them love. So he just visualized what he wanted them to do. So if you want your children to be nice and you be nice to your children, just try that for a month. Visualize yourself being harmonious with your beloved children or your spouse or your family. Pre-create the blueprint of your reality first inside, because that's what you will see outside, which is essentially the main message that dolphins shared with me. When I went swimming with them, I was very afraid. And it was like, no, no, no. And they said that I had to be in the end result picture. And then I said, okay, okay, I can do this. And I visualized having them come close to me. Yeah. But my limit of close was actually a little bit over a meter. Whereas my husband, a man, he's like, oh, I think 20 centimeters is far enough. So they would come 20 centimeters close to him and 1 meter far away from me. Well, they honor, and all of life honors what we feel and anticipate and expect. I want you to remember this. Whoever and whatever is outside of you reacts and responds to your unconscious request of meeting your needs. We're not always have positive expectations. We also have insecurities, unconscious negative expectations. So we need to learn how to elevate our experience into a fulfilled future. So Dr. John Lilly worked with Roberta Goodman, and I worked with her for decades. We were neighbors. Then I moved to Hawaii just to be closer. Swim with dolphins. Don and I lived there for 12 years. We had a dolphin boat in Florida and swam with dolphins, so I would say 1,000 hours at least underwater. And I experimented with telepathy. And the message I want to have you experiment on your own right now is one I want to guide you in a meditation to discover some of that yourself. And remember, a dolphin, an angel, Kuan Yin, Lakshmi, any deity has a quality that we can become. We can become the Buddha, like Patrici says, become the Buddha and enter into the field of the fulfillment of that which you are looking for. And when the universe gives you an answer, learn from the feedback. After I saw that the dolphins were 1 meter away from me, but 20 centimeters away from my husband, I asked, well, what is the problem with me? And they said, well, you're afraid. And I'm like, yes, that's true. Because, underwater, they are 3 meters long, and that is very big underwater. It looks bigger. 3 meters is like a very big being. So I worked with my fear, and I learned to calm my fear, reduced the erratic energy that comes out of us when we are having that fear energy. and calmed myself and visualized feeling comfortable when they were closer. Now, I want all of you who have husbands and wives or beloveds, I want you to think about how comfortable are you with your partner, in which distance? Is it here for you? Are you comfortable when they're here? Do you want them here? Are you saying, like I did, I want the dolphins here, but in my energy body, subconsciously, I said, please don't come any closer than this because otherwise I might be afraid. You understand? Take responsibility for whatever you are going to. There is somebody waiting. I don't know how to admit. Okay. There, when we have a partner, when we have children, we co-create reality. Of course, they are their own person as we are, but there is a resonance. And when whatever we experience, it is fitting with what our subconscious expresses. The moment I reduced my anxiety or fear about the dolphins coming closer, even though I was saying to the dolphins, please come closer, the moment I realized that I was afraid if they are too close, they might bite me or something, the moment I handled my fear and allowed in my feeling body to have them come closer, they came this close. They came this close. And every year I wrote about it in my books. I wrote the experiments I did. And I said, I want 5 of them from the front. And they came. I said 1 to each side. I said 12 from the back. I said in the middle of them every time I set up different parameters. And they responded, but only to the degree that I was ready to receive. Now, for all of us who have relationships with our mates, partners, children, we reflect what we expect. So if you want to change the world around you, start changing the world within. The principle of be a Buddha is saying be what you want to see, and that's what you will then experience. So let me, on that note, take us into a guided meditation. I will turn on some music and then you can, I hope that works. Charu, you can come in if the music, because we're talking Bali to India and the internet is whatever it is, if the music is interfering, can you text me?
Sure.
Chat, I will check. Okay, or you can just come in with an audio and say, Ilona, please turn off the music and I'll do that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. So what I'd like to have us all do to encounter the union with another being that has the quality of being a higher than actual human developed consciousness. They don't play with bombs. They don't build things. They used to have 5 fingers. They reduced all that and they created the capacity in their consciousness rather than in the fingers. And they live in a world that is higher vibrating and no longer polluting the earth as that, right? Which is what we can get to. Entering into a virtual world, which is what we'll do now. Okay, I will start sharing the screen. Hold on 1 second, and I will start the music. Oops, nope, that wasn't the stop share, that one. It's on this one. Okay, hold on. Okay, now we go share screen, and that should be the YouTube one. Okay, there it goes, and I will turn on the music. And if this doesn't work, then Charo lets me.
Yeah.
I do. Advertisement. Sorry, guys. Skip ads. All right. All right. Can you hear that? All right. Can you hear some music, Charu?
Not on my end right now.
Okay.
Maybe the
Okay.
volume.
1 second. 1 second. Share computer sound. I have to click that on. Okay. I'm going to just ask you if the volume is okay. It should be okay at about right now. Is that okay? Or is the music too loud? It's okay?
It's okay.
All right. Well, I'd like you, even though you're seeing beautiful pictures, I'd like you to close your eyes. These are Tibetan healing music sounds. I'd like you to close your eyes. I'm going to take you on a journey into the ocean. So let's start out by doing a yogic breath for a minute. And you can do that by closing one nostril, breathing in, holding the breath, bringing light into your third eye, switching your finger and breathing out. All of you, I think, know the yogic breath because you're in India. In the West, I need to explain it. Okay? All right. I'll be quiet and each one of us just breathes in light into your third eye, connecting with the breath and calmness of your breath. Bringing in light, strength and calmness. And you can breathe and do the yogic breath as long as you wish. And when you feel like you've had enough of the yogic breath, you can rest your hands in your lap. And in your mind, you can go to a beautiful, peaceful place in nature or in your mind. You can make it up. We will go to the beach in a little while, but wherever your place of peace takes you right now, it is something you can take with you every day. A place of peace and calm around you. So for a moment, just imagine your favorite place of peace. As you do, just notice the colors that surround you. Or if you're not as visual, maybe you just know where you are and you feel the wonderful feelings of this beautiful, peaceful place around you. As you walk deeper into your place of peace, let your feet touch the ground and notice what you feel beneath your feet. As you enter your peaceful place, just notice how wonderfully calm and soothing everything feels. And how your heart feels elated and grateful. You can let the energy in your place of peace be even more brilliant or more soothing, more beautiful, more radiant, and step in even deeper than it already was before. do, collectively, we're creating a radiant field of light that spreads around the planet. In India and all the states, other parts maybe around the world, we start, all of us, meeting in that great work of light, where we raise our presence, our consciousness to a level that brings more light into the noosphere around the planet. Your beauty, your peace is emanating into the sphere around the planet together as we are in this luminous sharing of calm. And we're helping that peace to emanate around the planet so that other souls that would like to be reminded of the beauty of their soul can now pick up on that vibration of yours and of ours. Finding their way home. And as this grid work of light stabilizes and emanates continuously throughout our meditation, let us now go on a journey to meet the dolphins. In your mind, you can go to a beautiful beach. Maybe the beach just like you saw before when I started talking, with white sand and water, palm trees, into a cove of calm water. And as you go into the cove of calm water, you feel the sand underneath your feet and just notice how wonderful it feels to put your feet into the sand. And as you keep going, there is a flat stone, like a little tiny platform in the water. And you wade through the water onto that platform. And you sit on that flat stone, watching out over the beautiful water that surrounds you. And from a distance, you see there are dolphins coming straight towards you. Coming, swimming straight to where you are sitting on the flat rock in the water. And the flat rock is your haven right now. And the dolphins are coming closer, and you feel like you want to stretch out your foot and stick one of your toes into the water. And one dolphin comes close to you, and with his big nose touches your toe in the water, and you touch back his rostrum, his nose. And in that moment, there is an energy current that comes from the dolphin up through your toe, up through your leg, up through your spine, into your head, into your mind, out into the universe, bringing wisdom and knowledge with that current. Just take a moment to allow that light, that current of information to come into you. How does the wisdom touch all of your cells, bursting through like a radiant energy beam, up through the center column of yourself, into the base of your brain, and out. And let the current of information touch all of your DNA. Let the current of the dolphin touch all of your cells and ignite an awakening of the DNA within you. How does it feel like when the DNA inside you opens its antenna to the cosmos? Like a mountain reaching into the sky, receiving the wisdom of the higher dimensions. And as you feel your dolphin, you feel the dolphin beckoning, wanting you to join the group. And you slide into the gentle water. And whether you know how to swim or not, it doesn't matter, because in this guided meditation, you are beyond the limits of time and space. And you can go on a journey with your dolphin underwater and join your group and have your dolphin friend side by side with you. And you dive down and imagine what it would be like if you swam right next to your dolphin friend in the blue turquoise water with the white sand underneath of you. What would you do? What would the dolphins do with you? And to your heart's desire, I want you to just take a moment and imagine playing underwater as imaginatively as you can. Do exactly or experiment with exactly what you would like to experiment with. And let the energy of the joy of the dolphins around you fill your heart, and let them meet you in exactly the way you would like to be met. And I'd like you to have your dolphins take you for a moment on a little excursion. Let them and let your dolphin friend swim next to you and let you see the world as he or she sees the world. And for a moment, just imagine letting your dolphin friend guide you. Is there something would like to let you know or show you. Take a moment in your own inner silence to go on a journey to something that your dolphin friend would like to let you see through his or her eyes. Something that is valuable for you to know or that he or she would like to share. Go ahead and ask him or her to show you. How does he or she see the world? And let that wisdom, whatever it is, as a feeling, as an image, come to you and stay with you as something that guides you in your life or helps you to understand something. And now I'd like you to swim with your dolphin friend a little bit further, just you and your dolphin friend, just side by side. And as you do, you look at his or her one eye from one side as he or she looks at you. As you feel the length and strength of your dolphin friend swimming beside you, also feel your own energy, how you're moving next to him or her. And for a moment, I'd like you to ask your dolphin friend if you, for a moment, could switch and slip into his or her mind and see the world through his or her eyes. Asking for his or her permission to join his or her consciousness. As you may be getting your permission accepted, I'd like you to just slip in your attention over into your dolphin friend, settling into how he or she feels swimming in the ocean. As you feel yourself being the dolphin yourself, I'd like you to look over to where you were swimming, so to speak, looking through the dolphin's eyes at yourself. As if you could feel or see or no, whichever way you appear to yourself. Just notice how it feels like, or it looks like, to look through the dolphin's eyes at yourself, swimming right next to the dolphin. You notice the energy that this human is emanating. Her hopes or his hopes. And maybe there are some areas around the body of yours that you're looking at which are brighter, which are already very luminous, radiating. Just take a look at which areas those are right now in this part of your life. Maybe there are some areas that are not as luminous, not as bright or brilliant or vibrant or energized. Just looking through your dolphin's eyes at yourself, at your energy body. Just notice which areas around you, your body, are not as luminous or not as vibrant or not as brilliant. For some of you, you will see it in your mind's eye. For some, you will just know it or have a feeling for it. Is there something that this person needs? The person that you are swimming next to the dolphin, looking at that energy field. What would that person best need right now? Maybe a word comes to your mind, or maybe a feeling, an understanding, or maybe you just see a color. What does the human part of you need through the dolphin's eyes? And then I'd like you to imagine that the human part of you that is swimming next to the dolphin, and that the energy field is starting to develop exactly that, those qualities, that energy, that light that is still needed right now. Just feel the beauty of that fulfillment, if that were already coming about. In the presence of the dolphin, let yourself become exactly that energy that is needed right now, and let it fill your heart, energy, body, colors, feelings, symbols. And as you allow that to happen, I'd like you to slip back into your own being, swimming next to your dolphin, and feel what it feels like from the inside as you allow yourself to feel that completion that was still needed. As if you can allow that completion to now fill you from the inside out. What would that be like? Let that fulfillment touch every cell of your being and the DNA in every cell. Let the DNA change. Let your mental body, your emotional body adjust. Let your spiritual current adjust to that new expression of you. Whatever that you saw still needed to evolve when you were looking through your dolphin's eyes. Are you willing to take this on every day? Are you willing to allow this energy into your life now? And are you willing to do whatever it takes in your inner self so that you indeed are going to express this energy in your daily life? Are you willing? Maybe you can make up a symbol, or you see a color or a shape in your mind, or if you don't, you can make something up that would represent this energy, this knowing, whatever it is for you. And as you embody this energy, I'd like you to open your eyes and look at your dolphin with this new energy inside of you now. And as if both of you are now raising your heads up, like almost as if your dolphin friend was with a tail down, with the head pointing up towards the stars, and you in the same position. Can you send your gratitude and feel the awe of having such a divine being with you right now? And I'd like to have you imagine both of you sending the ray of your consciousness up towards the center of creation, as if there's an inner pull towards the one center of all of creation. Both of you having that attraction or light streaming towards that singular central point of all that is. of you are drawn towards that center, into the very core of all that is. Notice how you're shifting from being a human to ever more just being that which is. And your dolphin friend is also raising his or her energy, rising, raising, as both of you are intrinsically drawn on that journey to the center of creation. Your wisdom, your dolphin's friend's wisdom, both your wisdom and luminosity start intermingling and dancing in the spiral ascension towards the one. And in your own way and form, I want you to just take a minute of silence, of allowing yourself to connect into and through that which then is beyond time and space. Entering the field that is beyond the journey of you and the dolphin. In your own way, connect with the source and become in your own way one. Pure center core of your essence and that of the dolphins now appear in the pure field of isness. No longer separate entities, but the one that is. If there is a form of prayer or wish, just ask in your own way to be guided, guarded, and protected, and always at the right place in the right time, and inspired to do the right thing in the form of a human directed from this immense inner source. And allow this field of oneness, of the divine, to operate within you always and keeping the channels open, whether you're conscious of it or not. And bring today's wisdom into all of your cells. And gently take your goodbyes from this unified field of consciousness. Always knowing that you're always part of it. Now descending back into your individuation as the human that has begun this journey earlier. And let also find yourself back in the cosmos, back on that stream of light descending with you, your dolphin, cosmic traveler. And descend back into the ocean of stars, back to planet Earth, the waters, the mountains and the lakes, the oceans. Gently coming back to the place where you started your journey in the cove with your dolphin friends. Thanking the dolphin that has accompanied you and wishing him farewell. Thanking him or her for the wisdom that you've gained today through his or her presence. The angels of the seas. And as you find yourself starting to breathe deeper, I'd like you to come back to that ocean water, swimming towards the ocean beach. Coming into that soft edge where the sand is greeting you. And you can lay in that sand and water for a moment, looking at the sky. Bring with you that memory of what you had seen through your dolphin eyes, the aspect that you wanted to strengthen in you. Maybe there was a symbol that could represent that, or you have just had a feeling or a knowing. And bring that wisdom, that new form of energy with you in your daily life. And remember it maybe every day for a few minutes in the mornings before you start your day. Go into your meditation and call up on that aspect of you that you would like to strengthen, that you saw through your dolphin friend's eyes. And in gratitude, say goodbye to your dolphins, maybe folding your hands in namaste. Breathing in deeper, letting them swim back into their world, and you coming back into yours. I'd like you to then gently stretch, breathing in deeply your namaste, going to the heavens or whatever way you wish. Bringing with you that nice energy, the beautiful new understanding, so that you can start living a new aspect of the information that you got through your dolphin friend's eyes. Namaste.